Us, young people, have called for a more transparent, inclusive, and society-based governance process. Through the consultations of the SDGs, we have more channels for being part of the resolutions and for making sure that none of the big decisions are taken without our saying. As a young researcher, I am committed to demand and to develop specific data for Mexican youth. As part of the research project called The Case for Space, I interviewed young activists from both formal and informal organizations, and they all agreed that the environment for participation in Mexico is not safe. However, this hasn't provoked a decrease in youth actions. On the contrary, volunteer and nonprofit organizations have emerged everywhere. Now, more than ever, young people realize the danger of remaining in silence. Big NGOs and small informal networks are dedicated to monitor human rights violations, especially during public protests. Their efforts are giving results. 2 years ago, they accomplished the abolition of a local article that criminalized public protests. They have been so restless that they demonstrated that both local and federal authorities are the ones responsible for the 43 missing students in Ayotzinapa last year. That would not have been possible without the leadership of young activists who were put in risk at several occasions for their efforts. I have seen young activists targeted by police at protests. I have seen and heard young activists followed home and threatened, put under arbitrary arrest, and facing brutal sentences without reason. This is a scary scenario for us. It has provoked that young people and government look at each other as enemies instead of partners. I know we all realize that civil society is advocating for youth and for their human rights, but this is not enough. We must achieve these goals together. Youth actions are important, but we also need a safe and supporting environment for young people's participation. So, we are calling on member states to go the extra mile, to create the necessary conditions and structures for young people and youth organizations to achieve these goals. This means funding and resources, investing in youth, and including small efforts into budgets. It also means freedom of association, assembly, and expression, and of course it means freedom from attack. It means better mechanisms for dialogue, and it means protection for the hundreds of youth organizations that are ready to monitor the global goals. It means including young people in governance and decision-making at every level. I know young people is ready to make Goal 16 a reality and not an ideal, but we all must, at every level, help them to do that. Thank you.